So you checked out of the
Welcome, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Today, we are recapping Week 14 college football. We're also going to recap the NFL. We're going to talk a little bit of college football playoffs, Lane Kiffin's fiasco. We're going to get into a lot of stuff, championship, college championship playoff, conference championships.
Right.
First up, let's give a shout out to K2 Water Hydration. Hit them up for all your hydration needs. Also, go and download the Better app. Use promo code NOTBROKE to get up to $200 of your money back on any bets that you place. Nico, it's you and me today.
Before we get into the NFL, college football, I do have a question for you since we are two guys from Miami that rep Miami pretty hard. Is it safe to say the best player in college basketball is from Dade County this year?
Mr. Cameron Boozer?
Mr. Cameron Boozer himself.
I believe so. I believe he will be the number one pick next year or this year in the NBA draft.
And the award winner.
And the what?
Wooden award winner this year also.
I agree. I'm a big Duke guy. My son's name is Duke, so
Same.
That just says it all.
Yep. Same. Have you done a game there? At Cameron Indoor?
No. That is a bucket list.
Bucket list item. Yep, me too.
That is a bucket list. Now that, the boys are a little older, that's definitely bucket list to take them and the wifey and go enjoy some Duke basketball.
100%.
All right, my boy. Let's get into it. College football. You want to talk about the lines first? You want to talk about Lane Kiffin first? Or you want to talk about
this Lane Kiffin stuff? I mean, I think we should just jump right into it because that's been the only thing on my Instagram and Twitter feed for the last week. More than the actual games, really. Man, it's crazy. It's. I think it got crazier today when they granted the Ole Miss OC Wells the ability to go back and coach them for the playoffs. I think that made the whole fiasco even crazier.
Yeah, I think they had to do something to save face to be able to stay in the playoff. I mean, the college football playoffs, they moved them up a spot to number 6. And do you think that has something to do with it? I mean, I think if they would have taken their whole coaching staff, I think they drop.
I don't know, but then at the same time, like Wells wasn't the play caller this year. Like Lane's the play caller, so it's still you're having a new play caller no matter what going into playoffs. I think the crazy part is like all the rumors and reports and whatnot where, Lane Kiffin is holding the whole coaching staff hostage. Like if you don't get on this plane with me, you're not gonna have a job. So it's crazy now to him double back and grant the offensive coordinator like the ability to go call plays for the playoffs. Like I get it, like you're trying to right the ship because you don't want to be the villain, but Pablo, at this point, just turn Darth Vader and go.
Yeah, I agree. Let me ask you: they win a national championship. Lane Kiffin gets any credit?
Of course, you built it. You got the players there, of course. But I will say this: yes, Lane Kiffin gets credit. Golding, that just got hired. Golding, the D coordinator who just got hired, gets more credit for Lane Kiffin. That I'll tell you.
I'd agree. All right, let's jump into it. We had a great week of football. Thanksgiving week has to be by far top 3 weeks of sports, right? You got all day college basketball.
Yeah.
And you got 3 games of NFL on Thursday. You got a college game on Thursday. Then you got 6-7 games of football on Friday. And then you got obviously Saturday slate and Sunday's NFL slate, which is, I mean, as good as it gets. I mean, obviously, obviously, bowl week, I guess, January 1st, around that week was
March Madness, the Masters.
March Madness is
pretty good, too.
There's nothing like that, too. But this is definitely top 5, I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
So, in that, Indiana routes up Purdue. Wow. we finally get to see the clash, Ohio State and Indiana. Line opened up at 5.5,
Already
down
dropping.
to 4.5. It's pretty interesting. I think that line is too short. I told you this. I know we're off topic. I know we're supposed to talk about, but we're jumping into it.
I mean, this determines, like, just to stay on topic to a degree, like for the playoffs, like this determines the number 1 overall seed.
I agree. I think initially I thought that line would open 7, 6.5 around there.
Yep.
Opened 5.5, and it got bet down. That means money is coming in on Indiana, which is surprising to me. If that gets down to 4 or 3.5, I might have to take out a loan and put it all on Ohio State.
I mean, I'm gonna take it no matter. I'm gonna buy the 1.5 no matter. Like if it stays at 4.5, which I think it's gonna get to 4. I'm gonna lay the juice at -140 and take it. I think this is gonna be an interesting clash of like matchups per se. Just because like Indiana, we've seen the offensive capabilities all season, and we've seen Ohio State offensively be amazing, but they're the best defense in the country. So let's see if Indiana could give them a game. I would say I would like them going into the playoffs, but it concerns me. They haven't played an SEC team. They haven't played a big dog. They haven't done any of those things. So this is your big dog. Yeah, you beat Oregon or great win. This doesn't compare to this monster you're going up against.
Yeah, I agree.
What's like if you were to tell me like, okay, my biggest look ahead to this game would be what?
I would have to say Indiana's defense against Ohio State's offense. I'm super curious to see if I want to see if these guys can keep up with Sayin and Jeremiah Smith.
The monsters.
Yeah. I don't know if Indiana's not known for having fast, quick guys that can keep up with those guys. So if Ryan Day can get these guys in space, I mean, I think they should crush them, if I'm being honest. Again, Indiana seems like they're super football sound, and and they're not a team that gives a lot of penalties, and they're going to make you work for your yards. But I want to see what Indiana can do with that defense against Ohio State, that juggernaut. I mean, those guys are dogs. So.
Yeah, they're animals. I mean, that's probably the second biggest question. It's like, can you play with? No one's shown it. No one will show it. Like they can't play with. At least I don't think they can play with Ohio State on the perimeter.
I agree. 100%.
That's where the biggest difference is. But again, to me, it all comes down to this is going to be the best pass rush Fernando Mendoza's faced all year.
Yep.
And it's not even close. The best pass rush, the best backers.
Their front seven. Yeah.
Front seven, Caleb Downs in the back end. They're loaded. Everyone knows it. Let's see. This will prove that. I'll put it this way. He gets stamped as the number 1 overall pick this weekend. He balls and shows that he could do the things that he's been doing all season against that defense. That's going to have 1, 2, 3, off the top of my head, 5 first-round picks minimum.
Yeah.
You're the number 1 overall pick.
No, I can't argue that. Let's jump into Texas A&M. I want to say all of us were all over Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And Texas routed them up. I mean,
it was a kind of were in control.
Yep, and they were in control the whole game. Obviously, Sark comes out and says that Texas is a college football playoff team and yada, yada, yada. And he's throwing shade at Mario and throwing shade at the U just to try and get in. Talking about how hard his schedule was and et cetera, et cetera. What are your thoughts on that?
So I saw a video today of someone talking about like how, because someone said like, okay, the SEC shouldn't be playing, like Texas playing Ohio State. You shouldn't be playing that if you're Texas, right? Because they're like, okay, if it doesn't help you, right? But if you look at the SEC, the highest 1-loss team is an SEC team. The highest 2-loss team is an SEC team. 1 being Georgia, 2 being Alabama. The highest 3-loss team is Texas.
It's Texas.
So there's still SEC bias, of course, because you're playing a tough schedule, etc. Now, contrary to what Sark said, and I understand, it's the SEC, I understand all that stuff, but you can't lose to Florida. They won 4 games. You can't lose to Florida.
Yeah.
Like that, you don't lose to Florida, you're in.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
If your two losses are, and if I'm wrong, if they're Georgia, the number 3 team in the country, and Ohio State, the number 1 team in the country, you're in. You're in the dance. And we're talking about having 6 SEC teams in.
Yep.
Which is another crazy statement to think about, that we could have had 6 SEC teams in.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. We keep talking about common opponent and all this stuff. I mean, the U beat Florida pretty handily.
Yep.
And Texas didn't beat Florida, and that's the only common opponent that they have.
Now let me ask you this: I think this showed a lot of flaws A&M has.
I agree. A&M did not look good. I mean, they've been steamrolling teams, but realistically, they really haven't played. I mean, they played at Missouri. They played at LSU. They played at Notre Dame, I guess, in the beginning of the season, which is probably their best win.
That's a good win.
That's a good win. But I will tell you this: I don't think A&M wins their first college football playoff game.
If they are the 5 seed, yes, they're 5. They'll win the first game because
I think they'll be 7. I think they'll be 7. I think they'll play 10, which could be a Miami, a Notre Dame, or Oklahoma. Yeah, and I think all those 3 teams beat them.
Yes, I agree.
So, like you said, we saw a lot of flaws on A&M.
And you called it. You called on the show. You were like, the reason why I'm taking A&M is because they should have lost to South Carolina. How are you going to lose to a bad team? Like,
yep.
That doesn't give me any confidence to take them at Texas.
Yep, I agree. Let's keep moving to that Friday slate. We had Georgia and Georgia Tech. Georgia barely gets by in a 16-9 game against Georgia Tech. What were your thoughts?
Looking back on it, excuse this ironicness way I'm going to put this, but it's really, if you think about it, a look-ahead spot for Georgia.
Yeah.
I think it was like, okay, let's just get through this game. This doesn't matter. Like, we win this game, we're in the title game. All we have to do is squeak by here. And I really think, look, I went back. I did watch the game. I went back, watched the film on it. I'm a junkie, and Gunnar didn't play his best game, but you could tell those guys just wanted to get out of there. They let 9 points, least score on them all year per se, and it was just like, all right, we play hard-nosed football. Let's get out of here healthy. Let's keep our best player healthy, and let's get out of here. That's the way I felt about the game. It looked the way it was coached that way also. They did miss some big plays, like 100%, like to go around the right side and whatnot. So, I mean, it was a get-out-of-here game. That's what it was. It was get out of here, stay healthy, look ahead. We play Bama. We have Bama or Ole Miss, depending on what happens in the A&M game.
Speaking of Ole Miss, they steamrolled through Mississippi State. I actually took Mississippi State plus the 7 in the hook. I fell for it. Made it a game in the first half, but obviously Ole Miss was too much. I ran away with it. What are your thoughts on Ole Miss, bro? Without their coach moving forward, do you think it has to make a difference?
So do we have to blind take Ole Miss?
Depends who they play.
But like, is it a system play? Like, so again, you always say we're an education show. So a system play is when something hits at a 70% clip or better. You blind take it.
Correct.
This is a system play.
It is. Their coach didn't get fired, so it is a loophole.
But it's still interim. That's where it's still a system.
Correct. Which we have one already for the conference championship. Yeah, now that you say that, I think we're going to have to take them. They'll probably be the 6th seed. They'll probably play the 11th seed. They'll probably be Tulane, Virginia, JMU, one of those. I mean, JMU is good, but
I just think Ole Miss has too much speed to.
I agree. I think
they're good. That's the problem. That's the conflict I'm having with it. To answer your question, like, they're a very good team. They've won a lot of games this year, and they've won it convincingly, and also in tight games. Like, they've done both. They've shown they can pull out games with Trinidad Chambles being reliant on. Who was it that they played? Oklahoma, that they were up and then they were down and they ended up winning by 8, whatever. Like that game, for example, it's shown, okay, Trinidad Chambles could play in the big moments.
Mm-hmm.
Against Georgia, he had 35 points. Yeah, he got stagnant at the end, but that's their question. And they've also showed they could steamroll. So it's like they're a team that I would want to say if they had Lane Kiffin, I would trust them in the playoffs. But new offensive coordinator, etc. Let's see.
Yep. So moving on, Utah. Utah barely not barely. They won by 10, but it's another team that was on the ropes in the fourth quarter. They come back and score 2 touchdowns to take the lead, go up by 10, but they were down 4-17 or 21-17, and I think they came back and scored twice. Is Utah in the playoff?
No. They're like out of all the teams, like out of the bubble team per se, I think that would be the last team, unless you disagree.
No,
I would put Vandy in before them.
Okay, I would put Vandy before them. Their losses are Texas Tech and BYU. All right, at BYU, Texas Tech steamrolled them. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I don't think nobody wants to see Utah in the playoffs, if I'm being honest. Yeah.
Now they would have beat if they would have beat a Texas Tech, if they would have beaten who was the other loss you gave them? BYU?
BYU at BYU.
Yeah, they would have beaten one of those two teams, and maybe we talk about it. Maybe.
I think let's talk about BYU. Because either way I'm jumping into Saturday. Dude, I'm in Tampa and we're at like this wharf area and we're watching the UM game, obviously. And I look at the score and I see UCF is up 14-0.
Yep.
I'm like,
at
finally.
BYU.
Exactly. And I'm like, finally, these guys are going to lose. You know, I didn't take them. You know, I think I spoke on the show that I would take UCF plus a 17.5 just because I have to.
Yep.
I did. But I didn't take them. And they're up 14-0. And then I blink and they're up 21-14. And then I go to the bathroom, I come back, and then they win 41-21. So not only did they win, they covered.
Yep.
Now they're a 13.5 point underdog to Texas Tech, which Texas Tech beat the brakes off of them.
I think that line's right, by the way.
I think it's right, too. Well, it's at 12.5 right now. Do you think BYU has a chance?
To cover the game?
The game.
No.
Yeah.
And I know that you and I talk a lot about beating a team twice and how hard that is to do.
Yeah.
But, man, if Texas Tech loses, I would make a valid argument that it would be one of the most disappointing losses of the season.
I have to agree with you.
Not only because I finally want to see BYU get taken down, because they've lost. They are the team that have lost me the most money this year.
No, agreed, 100%. BYU's that just little fly that just doesn't go away. That you put your window down and you're like, come on, get out of here, and they just stick around. Yeah. They're just there, like get away. So I really hope, obviously, for Miami's sake and for my sake, I hope Texas Tech crushes them. And I think if Texas Tech, I think if Texas Tech, we're locked in. And I'm hoping that Texas Tech beats them.
They should. Again, they should. Keyword should.
Obviously, if BYU wins, Miami's crushed. There's no way they get in. So they need Texas Tech big to win that game.
If the line was any shorter, if it was 9.5, even like a flat 10.5, I would try to convince myself to take BYU with the points. But because it opened so big, I think I'm going to lean Tech again.
Dude, I think I have to take BYU. I know I don't want to, but I think I have to. Just look at Texas Tech scores, bro. 49-0, 48-9, 29-7, 43-20, 42-0, 26-20, 42-17, 35-11, 34-10, 45-14, 62-14, 67-7. Dude, they're just steamrolling teams. And that line is 12.5. It's a championship game.
That's why. I feel it's neutral. If it's in Lubbock, it's probably like a 17.5 point line, which is probably right.
Yeah. That's tough. That's tough.
Remember, also, it's in Jerry's world, so it's going to be a home game for Tech.
That's true. That's true. So let's talk a little bit about Miami.
Over-under for the game if you have it in front of you.
I do have it in front of me. The over-under is 50.
I like the under.
Yeah, I like the under too. All right, let's talk about Miami.
Wow.
Miami, surprisingly, I said it on the show that I was going to take Pitt. Obviously, that was just so that if I did cover, I felt good.
happiness.
They steamrolled Pitt, bro. They didn't give Pitt a chance. I mean, it was 7-3 and then 38-7. End of story.
Yep.
They showed up, man. They've been playing really well in the last couple of weeks. Obviously I'm a fan, but I think they deserve a spot. I felt this way last year. I wish we would have gotten Cam a chance. I think Cam would have made noise. Our defense was actually dog shit, but right. Cam was so good that I would have loved to see him against these big teams. Mm-hmm. And he was going to put up 40 points,
Right.
Now, on this side, I love that defense. That defense is lights out. And I think Carson Beck finally is getting in his rhythm. They're finally opening up the offense. And now, obviously, Malachi Toney's usage rate is through the roof.
Right.
So I think they're humming at the right time. I just hope they could get in. The committee jumped Bama to Notre Dame. So now we're right next to Notre Dame.
I think they did that on purpose.
I think so too. I think that was step one to bring Miami closer. Actually, I'm going to check because I actually bet Miami plus 600 to make the playoffs. And I really want to see what that line was. I did it yesterday. I want to see if that line did any movement.
At some point today, it was plus 450 when I saw it. I'm pretty sure.
So it's not available anymore. Interesting. Okay. All right. Anyways, I got to look for it, but I don't have time for that right now.
Right.
Let's jump into, all right. You have any thoughts on Miami?
I don't have anything that hasn't been said already. It's pretty obvious. You're both two-loss team. You have the head-to-head. You have the common opponent factor. You have all that stuff. You have better wins than them. I think it's bullshit if they get left out. Excuse my French, but it is what it is at this point. We just have to – what it comes down to, no por nada, but it comes down to us lose. I always knew the SMU game was a loss personally. There was something about it. I didn't like it, but we should have held court against Louisville at home.
Wow. I just stumbled across the Heisman Trophy numbers.
It's even money, I'm pretty sure, both ways.
It's not. It's saying is plus 170. Dago Pavia is plus 175. And Fernando Mendoza is plus 185.
I said on the show last week that there was going to be even money going into this week between the two of them. But I didn't expect Pavia to get this much love.
No, I agree. Wow. It's interesting. So I can't find the line on Miami to make the playoffs after this. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in conference championship. Do you think if Bama loses to Georgia, are they out? They're done?
Yeah.
You think that's going to be tough because now you're going to penalize teams that are going to the conference championship. You get what I'm saying?
I get you, but you're a 3-loss team. How do you justify
I understand. I agree with you, but your 3 losses are in a conference championship to the number 2 team, probably. Georgia will move up, probably to 2. The loser of 1 or 2
loss,
will go to 3. It's same loss twice, no?
No,
Bama beat Georgia. Who did Bama lose to? They lost to Oklahoma.
FSU.
They lost to. Oh. How come we don't talk about that being a really bad loss?
That is a really bad loss.
They talk about SMU and Louisville being a bad loss, but they don't talk about FSU being a bad loss.
Bama, Bobby. They want them in. They don't want Miami to them right now. Isn't the Bama's a hot show. It's the Kalen DeBoer, get him into the playoffs. It's the Ty Simpson, best QB in the country. It's Nick Saban always lingering around. It's the Bama factor. Like, you know what it is. Like, let's see. Like, what is good about Bama being left out of the playoffs?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Duke is sweating it out with Florida right now. Huh?
Thanks, Devin. Appreciate it.
No, I'm watching here, bro. It's just
Me too.
a lot closer than I thought.
They were up 8, and now they're up 2.
Oh my God, that block was disgusting.
How much time are you at?
I got 307.
Thanks, I'm at 329.
Oh, you watch this block. It's disgusting. I'm gonna start talking about Bama and Auburn. Bama was up 17-0. Auburn comes back, ties the game. Bama ends up winning outright, 27-20. You covered that spread. You got a great number at 4. I pushed on my spread. I waited till the end. Line got up to 6.5 at close.
Wow.
Bought half the hook. Yeah, I bought half the point. Took Auburn +7. I pushed. You won. Happy. I'm okay with that. Bama gets in. It's just Bama gets into the SEC championship. They get their rematch against Georgia. That line is 2.5.
But 2.5 at +110 though. It's weird.
Let's see. I have no, 2.5 minus 110.
No, I'm saying money line.
Oh, the money line is +115.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's wow, good call. That's a very short
money line play.
Yes. That's a 1.5 spread.
Correct. Correct.
+115 is around 1.5. Wow. Good catch, you know?
I noticed that today because I have Georgia preseason to win the SEC. So it's a 150 to win 445. So I pretty much have Georgia at +300 for the game this weekend. So
that's a big 3 by Cam.
Best player in the country. So I'm gonna pull up the odds right now. What I have it at? I have it on.
Nothing better than doing a show and sweating bets.
I know. And so I have Georgia to win the SEC +310, 150 to win $465.
I think Georgia. I mean, we got to pull for Georgia, so I think Georgia comes through, man. And obviously, I'm probably gonna take Georgia for sure. Actually, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I don't know that game. So funny enough, for a little story, for a year.
Yeah, I'm taking Georgia.
2 years ago, 2 years ago, Devin and I were at a wedding for this video that gets played later. And I'll never forget it. We were at a wedding. I'm coming off 0 hours of sleep. Devin's there, and he's like, my biggest player of the year was today. I was like, what is it? He's like, the over in the Alabama-Georgia game. And I was like, oh, my God. And I think it ended like 51, and you had 51.5 over or something like that. It was a sick beat. It was sick.
Yeah. Thank you, Nico.
I remember that very vividly, though.
Thank you for taking me down memory lane. I would probably slam Georgia just because Alabama beat them at home and just off of revenge.
I thought that spread would be bigger, though.
No. I mean, I think
I thought it was going to open at 3.
Yeah. That's true. That's a good tell. Obviously, I probably am going to take money line. I won't take the 2.5 for sure. That money line is only -135, so I'll probably take Georgia. Let's talk about. We talked about Alabama. Let's talk a little bit about Ohio State and Michigan. You called it, my friend. You said belt to ass. Ohio State,
and they're lucky it was snowing, by the way. If it was not those conditions, it would have legit been what I said, and it would have been a ransack.
I agree. I think you had a great read on that game. They absolutely just crushed them. Michigan had a bunch of things go their way early, which is why they were in the lead. Mm-hmm. And And Ohio State just that's what good teams do. They stick it out, they gun it out, they fight through adversity, and then they just steamroll you. Um, so yeah. So let's keep moving on. Give me a second. Here we go. What other big games there were this week?
Well,
Oregon, Washington.
I remember. Oh, okay, we'll get into that. There's another game, LSU, Oklahoma's the other one that I remembered. Man, I thought Washington was going to play better. I'll be completely honest with you.
I did too. I was watching that game. That was my play of the day. I was watching that game, and honestly, I feel like I would have called a better defense than their D coordinator did. He kept sending three. He gave Dante Moore, correct?
Yep.
A ton of time. And, you give a quarterback a lot of time, he's going to make right decisions with no pressure. He's got all day to throw. He killed them. There was 3rd and 9s, 3rd and 7s, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13s that they just kept picking up. And this guy, D quarter, I don't know his name, but all I know is that he kept dropping 8 and rushing 3. Like, it didn't work the first time, didn't work the second time. Why don't you send pressure? Send pressure, see what happens.
I'm a pressure guy when it comes to that stuff, so I'll never side with that. I like if you can't cover one-on-one, then it is what it is. But I like bringing pressure. I'm with you. But it had to be something on film that they had to love per se. And then the other thing I was going to ask you is what's your thoughts on Oregon?
I don't know, man. Oregon feels like a little bit of Penn State-ish in the sense that
like last year Penn State type of thing.
They hang around. They're always there at the end. They make the playoffs, but they never win the big game.
Right.
Oregon was the number 1 team in the nation last year. Ohio State gets them in the Rose Bowl and just beats them by 3 touchdowns. Wasn't even close.
At Oregon.
No,
it was
in the Rose Bowl.
You're right.
It was in the Rose Bowl. So my thoughts are they're probably going to host a playoff game. They're probably going to get one of these, Power 5 groups.
They're 5, right?
They're 5 right now. So if they stay,
they would get North Texas.
They get North Texas. It'd be a shootout, but I mean, eventually, I think Oregon wins by 3 scores. It's not, and then they'd probably face a Georgia, Texas Tech.
If they're 5, they would play the 1, which would be Ohio State.
Wouldn't they play the 4?
I thought 5.
They would play the
5-4. You're
5-4.
You're right.
They would 8-9 would play the 1.
That's a good
So
Georgia Tech, and Georgia
Texas
and Texas Tech. One of those 2 games in Oregon would be a close game to call.
Yeah. It would probably be like, Fiesta Bowl or one of those bowls. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't think Oregon will win those games,
I think Tech. I don't think Tech's offense is all that.
They're what?
Their offense. I don't think Tech's
They're scoring 40-something a game.
They're playing really bad teams, though.
I agree.
One game they played BYU and they played at Arizona State. They were held under 30.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we'll see. I think they'd have a favorable schedule to get into the semifinals. Obviously, of the 4, you probably want to play Tech. I wouldn't. Maybe you want that rematch against Indiana.
That could happen too. Indiana loses, go down to 4.
Nah, I think they'll go down to 3, and then whoever wins.
If Georgia and Tech win, Indiana's going to 4.
Really?
You'll take the 3 conference champs all at 1 loss over a 1-loss team that's not a conference champ.
Okay. All right. I would
think if I'm the commissioner, obviously.
I would put Ohio State 1, Georgia 2, Indiana 3, Tech 4.
That's all bearing win-win, loss-win.
Correct.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, Obviously, unless Tech smokes BYU, I don't see how they stay jump. Because if Indiana's only lost, what happens if they lose by a field goal to Ohio State? You're gonna drop them from 2 to 4.
No, but I just can't see you. But then we get back into the conversation of like conference champions. Like, are you the thing the committee's always held true, right? When it was 4 teams, it was conference champion. Like that was their number one thing. What's your first metric? Are you a conference champ? That's the only way you could use to be able to get in, per se. So I'm like, if for them to go against everything they've done for years would be tough, man. I think that'd be really tough for the committee not to take them at 4.
All right.
That's just the way I see it. I could 100% see your way. You steamrolled everyone. You dogged Oregon out of Oregon, and now you're one loss to the best team in the country.
And if it's close, if they lose by 2 scores, they go to 4. Easy. You know, but if it's close, I think they keep them at 3.
Now
Georgia wins.
If Ohio State loses, I could see them going to 3.
Yes, yeah, I could see that too.
That's when I would get contrarian with it because I don't think any of us are stupid enough to bet against Ohio State in the playoffs. Lewis might be because he hasn't been better. Yeah, but I don't think the rest of us are.
I get it. Last game of the slate that I want to talk about was actually steamroll. I was on the other side. Vanderbilt smokes Tennessee at Tennessee. Crazy thing is they lose a spot in the AP poll, which was very interesting.
The AP poll is worse than anything else.
I didn't see what was their ranking in the football playoff.
I'll tell you right now.
Where did they put? Yeah, let me know. That's a team that I would love to see in. Diego Pavio is fun to watch, you know, and he has that like little Johnny Manziel it factor. I don't know if it's going to translate to the. They were 14, so yeah. Who's 13?
Miami's 12.
I have no idea.
Utah.
Football rankings.
Utah.
Okay. All right. And 12 is?
12 is Miami. 11 is BYU.
Yes, you're right. Texas is 13. So Texas jumps Vanderbilt. Oh my God. You see, this is the type of shit that pisses me off. Texas is 9-3. Vanderbilt's 10-2. They put Texas ahead of Vanderbilt because I'm sure that Texas beat Vanderbilt. Am I not correct there?
Texas beat Vandy. Yes, correct.
But then you're not going to put Miami ahead of Notre Dame.
Correct.
And you just did it for Texas, for Vanderbilt. It just makes no sense.
What I keep on telling you, if you're the SEC, you got the golden treatment.
Yeah, 100%. It's ridiculous.
It is what it is. It is just we have to live with it.
All right. Let's jump into the NFL. We got a couple minutes here. We had 3 really good Thanksgiving games, I would say. All 3 dogs won. The over hit
ever. I'm pretty sure that all 3 dogs won.
The over hit in 2 out of 3. Great games, all 3 of them. Our beloved Chiefs, Patty. Does Patty get in?
We're down on them this week, baby. We're back.
Do the Chiefs get in the playoffs?
Okay, so of course I've gone down the rabbit hole already, and do the Chiefs get in? They have to win out. That's the first thing, right? It starts this way. If they can beat Houston, you're in the right step in the right direction because Houston has a tiebreaker over Jacksonville, so that's like a good thing. And you hold the tiebreaker over the Colts, so it's a good thing. The next thing that has to happen is Jacksonville has to win out, right? And Jacksonville has to win the division. Colts have to lose. And Chargers have to start dropping games.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of stuff that can happen. I believe they're right now at let me just make sure I'm right about this. Right now, as of today, Kansas City is a 37% chance to win. Their odds increased to about 49 to 59% chance that they could beat Houston. So it's quote unquote dependent on this game, man. That's what it all comes down to. You lose this game, you're out. You win this game, you're in, or you have a shot.
Yeah, I don't want to sit here.
Same breath. What are your thoughts on the Cowboys?
My thoughts on the Cowboys are they have a really good offense. Their defense is not great. I think they have a tough game against Detroit this week on Thursday night, actually. That line is only 3, which kind of worries me.
Injuries, I'm pretty sure, though.
For Detroit.
I don't think Amon-Ra's playing.
Jeez. I want to sit here and say after that, they got the Commanders, they got the Giants, they got the Vikings, and the Chargers. They can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can go 3-2, 4-1. But believe it or not, I don't think 10-7 gets you in.
So
in the NFC.
An idea for just so you know who's not practicing: Taylor Decker starting right tackle didn't practice. Kirby Joseph starting safety didn't practice. Penei Sewell starting left tackle. I'm sorry, Penei Sewell starting right tackle didn't practice. Tyler Decker starting left tackle didn't practice. Amon-Ra St. Brown did not practice. Brock Wright did not practice. Brian Branch didn't practice. Graham Goss, now back in center, didn't practice.
Duke wins it, by the way.
Doesn't matter.
By 1. What a game. Duke versus Florida. 67-66.
I don't know what the Cowboys are yet, though. I think I want this. Listen to me. Before the Detroit weather. Here we go.
Detroit.
On Thursday night, it'll be 20 degrees. Let's see how you can play ball.
They play in a dome, Nico.
You're right. Never mind. So I don't see anything because I really don't think Dak. I think the Cowboys are Dolphins to a degree. I don't think Dak can play in cold weather. I've never seen it.
I agree. I agree with you. I don't think 10-7 gets you in. You got the Bears at 9-3. You got Green Bay at 8-3. I mean, I can't see how 10-7 gets you in.
I don't either. I guess
if they beat the Lions, I would tell you they got a shot. I don't think they could beat they beat the Lions at home. I mean, obviously that's somebody who they're competing with for a wild card position.
Yep.
Wow, I can't believe like the Lions and if the playoffs were to start today, the Lions and Detroit. I'm sorry, the Lions and the Chiefs are out.
Yep. And you can say that was like favorites.
They were the 2 favorites to win it all. This is one of the years that I would say is the most parity in the NFL. The NFL, in my opinion, is super chalk. Like, you know who's going to be there at the end of it. You always knew that Brady was going to be there. You always knew that Manning was going to be there. You always know that Mahomes is going to be there.
Correct.
You know, obviously these Eagles teams from the last couple of years, they're always going to be there.
Niners always have a shot.
The Niners always. But this year you have teams that like New England, like Denver, like the Bears, like, you know, the Rams. I mean, we always thought the Rams were good, but to me, they look like the best team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think Denver's really good.
I can't trust Bo Nix, bro. I mean,
I understand, but it's very reminiscent of the Denver 2013 team that won when you couldn't trust Peyton at that age. He didn't play great all season. Bo's playing better than that Peyton did, but at the same time,
that defense was a lot better. That defense was a lot better.
This defense is on par with the best defenses ever, like statistically. Wow. This defense is insane. They just pin their ears back and go get the quarter. I don't know. I look Denver in a very highly respectable manner. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm still always going to side with Stafford if you're telling me Rams or Broncos, but I think those two are the 2 teams. And third for me personally, and I know we have New England lovers, all right, so calm down. No, they're not third though. Seattle is a very good football team.
I think Sam Darnold might be the best
Regular season.
regular season
Yep.
QB in history. Honestly, I would love to see it in the playoffs. I mean, every time he plays a big game, look at the Rams game. He threw 5 picks. Now, their defense might be the best in the league. He threw 5 picks against the Rams, and they only lost by 2.
Yep.
That defense kept them in the game. And I think that the Rams, Seattle's defense will keep them in games. Sam Darnold can't be Sam Darnold in the playoffs. If he can just manage, they'll be able to win, and they need home field, in my opinion. I don't think Sam Darnold can win on the road, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I want to talk about, which I think is the biggest surprise of the year, right? The Bears. The Bears go to the Eagles, right? Listen, I'm an Eagles fader. I fade the Eagles like Lewis fades Ohio State. I always fade the Eagles. I actually thought the Eagles were going to crush the Bears. I thought it was a great spot for the Eagles. Eagles coming off of that bad loss to the Cowboys after being up 21-0. I thought it was just a great spot for the Eagles to come back at home Friday, day game, only game on the slate. Philly was going to show up.
Like, all my Philly friends were at the game. Every fan was there. Like,
it just felt like Philly was going to crush.
Yeah.
And, bro, let me tell you, man, the Bears showed up. And they dominated that game. Eagles never had a chance. Bears were up 2 scores the entire game.
Thing is, like, both quarterbacks played awful. Like, Caleb, like, as much credit as I want to sit here and give him, because he's talent-wise, he's otherworldly. Like, he is incredible talent. Makes every throw, makes it look easy throwing the football. Jalen Hurts, I want to blame the offensive coordinator. This regression is very, very bad. The offensive coordinator is very bad also. I will give him that. But, man, like, I was talking about Hurts like a top 5 quarterback in the NFL going into the season.
I've always said it. Jalen Hurts is a winner. He finds ways to win.
Yep.
But his skill as a QB is not very good. He can run. He can do all the intangibles. He makes plays when he has to. He makes a big throw when he has to. But as a QB, I don't think he's top 10. If I'm being honest, he's a winner. So, it's like I feel like the Eli Manning, right? I never thought Eli Manning was great. I thought but he won big games. He made the throws he had to make. He won 2 Super Bowls. He beat the greatest team ever, present, obviously 17-0 Patriots. And I think Jalen Hurts is the same. I think Jalen Hurts finds ways to win. I think it helps that he's had a great defense.
He had a great OC with Kellen Moore, and he had a great OC. So in the gap year between Kellen Moore and Steichen, he had a really bad year too.
Correct.
So it's like, is this every other, like, they're going to go out, hire the next big coordinator? It's like, is this a coordinator thing? Do you have to know how to call plays for Jalen Hurts? Can he make it? Sometimes where, like, a QB can make a coordinator look really good.
Of course.
And vice versa. But is Hurts just only coordinator, like,
so
only coordinator look good?
And that's my next question. Is Caleb Williams really that talented, or is it Ben Johnson?
No. He's that talented. Talented. I'm not saying good. I'm not saying his progressions. I'm not saying the way he operates in an offense. Is he that talented? Yes. Does Ben Johnson make him look better? Yes. Both things can be true.
Ben Johnson is great. He's a great coach. He's shown it. I thought they were frauds. I'm not going to lie to you. Going into this week, I thought they were frauds. But, I mean, Vegas thinks they're frauds too. They're a 7-point underdog to Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm taking
Green Bay.
The Bears will beat the Bears. I'm going to have to take – I almost want to say that I might be by you, but I've taken the Bears a couple times already this year, and it's paid off. But I'm going to have to take Green Bay this week.
Wow. That's a lot of points, man.
Exactly.
I just think, like, look, Green Bay on me, my opinion on Green Bay, and today I was messing around, and I was looking at their schedule. Hot take.
No.
I don't
know what
think
you're
I
gonna say.
don't.
No.
They don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say it. No.
They play at Denver, then they play at Chicago, then they have the Ravens, and then they play at the Vikings.
Okay, I'll give you a hot take too. You ready? They went out, except for that Denver game.
So you think that? Well, okay.
They
I mean,
beat
I could see
Chicago
it.
both times. They beat Chicago both times. I just think that pressure burst pipes. Okay, so I'm gonna give Green Bay the nods there. They win the North. They're gonna beat Minnesota. Well, they could lose to Minnesota if they rest, depending on that. But I think they steamroll fraudulent Baltimore over there.
I see what you're saying. I just think that there's a chance that they don't make it. If the Bears can split those games, the Bears win the North because the Bears have.
If that happens, I will formally apologize to you on Instagram.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I like that. All right, let me look one more time at the slate.
We got a couple more minutes here. There's one game I want to talk about.
Talk to me.
Man, I have to give a shout out to this guy. I know their team point margin isn't good. They have a winning record, man, though. Dave Canales is doing great things with him. Bryce Young's playing good ball. I don't care what anyone says. Shout out the Panthers, man. 7 wins. Turned the whole ship around. Bryce Young looks like a top 15 quarterback in the NFL. He looks composed in the big moments. He's pushing the ball downfield vertically. He's winning them games. I love Bryce Young. I picked him to win the Heisman the year he won the Heisman. Kid had one of the best Heisman speeches of all time. Well-spoken kid, stud. Everyone wrote him off. He's showing life. I have Panthers over 6.5 wins that hit this weekend, so I'm super happy about that. Man, the Panthers are going to win the South.
I think they are. I mean, I love Tampa. I love Baker. They got a big game coming up. They actually have 2 games coming up. They play the Panthers twice in the last 3 seasons.
It's like the Packers-Bears, same scenario.
I can see how the Bucks went out. They play the Saints, play the Falcons, both at home.
Then when do they play the Panthers the first time? Next week?
No, week 16.
So they play them 16 and 18?
16 and 18. The Dolphins sandwiched in the middle.
Interesting. Because Carolina has their bye this week, which is very good for Carolina.
Yeah. And then Carolina comes back next week, and they play the Saints, which Saints beat them at their place. I would probably be on the Panthers at the Saints.
Revenge
Saints
game.
are my team.
Yep.
Saints are on my team, but I think the Panthers win that game. Then the Saints have Seattle at home. If that's a 1:00 kickoff, I'm probably going to take Panthers. Oh, no, I'm lying. I'm sorry. They have at home against the Bucks. And then the following week is Seahawks. So it's a tough last 3 games. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yep.
But I could see
all
it.
matters is they won the division. Like you gotta take care of business against New Orleans, and then you have to split the Bucks or try to sweep the Bucks to try to get in.
Yep. I agree.
I mean, that's all I want to talk about per se. And nothing else like jumped out at me. I'll give a quick synopsis. So we are in for one hell of a college basketball season.
I agree. North Carolina up by 1 against Kentucky right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on North Carolina today, plus the 7.
Yep.
Kansas and UConn. UConn is down at the half. They got to wake up. And that's about it. I mean, we got some good stuff coming up. We got our regular show on Friday.
That's going to be jam-packed, action jam-packed this Friday.
We're going to be talking conference championships. We're going to be talking about the NFL slate. We're going to be talking about preview to college football. Obviously, CBB, can't forget that. And then on Sunday, we will all talk about the NFL. that we are getting ready for playoffs. All right? Gun to your head, who wins the Super Bowl?
Right now? Chiefs.
Jesus Christ.
Broncos.
All right. Wow. I'll take the Rams.
I'm very high on that defense.
I would take the Rams.
That'd be my second.
My boy. All right. Take it easy. Have a safe week. See you Friday.
Peace, fellas.